Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this live transmission. I have a very powerful combo of guests today with me, Bill Homann and the Crystal Skull, the ancient Crystal Skull. Uh, I had the pleasure to meet Bill because it was mostly about a soul encounter at the Bridge Expo in Dallas. And for that moment, from that moment on, I did not only had a beautiful connection with Bill and his gorgeous wife, Catherine, yet also with the Crystal Skull. Even before going live now, I have been communicating with the Crystal Skull, with the consciousness. And so before saying more, I just want to welcome you, Bill. Thank you for being with us.
Well, I'm very glad to be here. I'm excited to work with you and do the show today. It's very, I've been watching your work, and you're a very highlight of what you do is very much needed for the world. So glad I'm here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And mostly coming from you, because I do honor a lot the mission that you have embraced, because when we're talking about taking care of this master consciousness is not an easy, well, it is kind of easy because we enjoy it, yet it takes a lot of responsibility. It involves a lot of commitment. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for everything that you and Catherine are doing, because I could see the level of expansion that people could experience by connecting with the Crystal Skull, including myself. So, speaking of which, I would love for you to share with us how did the Crystal Skull reach your hands?
Okay. First, would you like to meet the Crystal Skull again?
Absolutely.
Okay, the Mitchell Hedges Crystal Skull, they consider it one of the most mysterious artifacts in the world because nobody can prove where it came from, how it was made, and who made it. There's all kind of things on the internet. This one says this one said, but when it comes to proof, there's no proof. And it's made in a way that they could not duplicate it even today. The things like it's made against the grain, and crystal is very hard. It's 7 on the scale of hardness, but it's brittle. So if you try to go against the grain, that would be very much damaging and pretty much impossible. It has lenses and prisms that are built inside the crystal, and these direct the light. Like if you put a light underneath the skull, the 90-degree turn takes it and shoots it out the eyes. So there's things like that make the skull very special. It's piezoelectric quartz, the same kind of quartz they make computer chips out of. And when they tested it, they found it had high levels of element 77 iridium. And iridium, one of the ways it comes to Earth is through meteorites. So the skull is special and it's very interesting, but it's made, and the legend is it's here at a time when the world needs help. And I just feel that in my job, I feel like the world needs help right now. It needs help in coming together and realizing our true identities, who and what we are, and bringing that knowledge through and bringing it all through to all people. And just like the indigenous, especially the Hopi prophecies say, this is a time when all will become together as one and will walk the way of peace. And to me, that's such a beautiful thing. So that's kind of where the skull is aiming me, and my way of being able to help people through the skull is being able to help them connect with who and what they are. It's a beautiful thing. And that's true power when you become all that you are and you're here and realize why you're here and be able to give your gifts to help other people. Yeah, that's a really good feeling. So that's, and you wanted, you asked me about how I got the skull.
But now you have covered many topics, so let me dive a little bit into that because so you were talking about the composition of the skull, and a few days ago I was doing a webinar, a panel with Emery Smith and Trevor Miller, and we were talking about the ancient alien artifacts and how these magnificent technologies could be, and mostly the consciousness could be transmitted into these magnificent technologies, when we take into consideration that we live in a multidimensional reality. So now talking about those technologies, the fact that these crystal skulls could have been composed through geopolymers, like in this case, only being quartz, yet adding very specific chemical components to the quartz and even shaping it not through, chisel or carving it, yet molding the crystal using that level of technology that involves plasma, which is the purest expression of light, and therefore molding it in a way that we currently cannot understand or explain through our own technology. I think actually this is one of the most beautiful gifts that this ancient consciousnesses, because for me they're coming from the future, so it's that thing about linear time that doesn't fit, and also it won't fit if we try to understand just through our rational thinking how these artifacts were created, how these beautiful devices were created. And if we just limit ourselves to that understanding without the comprehension, then we won't be able to deliver and transmit the message. Because as you were saying all these beautiful words, I was communicating again with the crystal skull and telling me how important it is for us now to upgrade our level of perception by not just the rational thinking, yet embracing the ways of the heart, which is the highest wisdom, where we don't need to translate limitedly anything because we already know, we remember.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So having said this, could you share with us a little bit of your story?
Sure. I would like to say though that the skull, why a crystal skull, and people, the skull has a little bad connotations with pirates and stuff, but basically they made it in the shape of a skull because it is something that would be loved or feared very much, and people throughout the generations would protect it. If you see it and you see the beauty of the skull and all the different
Yes.
time and love that went into it, just in seeing and feeling it, you want to keep it safe, you want to protect it. So that's one of the things. And another, I think it's, they kind of put a connotation that's like a god or something, and people are thinking of it that way. But really, it's a technological device made and given to us by the ancients or by the future to help humankind. It's like a Stradivarius violin. And if you had that and you gave it to a couple kids and they're playing with it, you get bink, 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 maybe a little bit of a sound. But if you gave it to a master, then the sound would come out, and you'd see the beauty of the what is there in your hands. And the same thing with the skull. If you know how to work it, if you know the right words, if you know how to connect, because that's what Anna did in the last 8 years of her life, was she spent the time teaching me what to do and how to take care of it and how to make it connect, so we can do open up and those channels to bring in the love and light into the world, which the skull has a lot of that. As a matter of fact, people should be feeling it, because it just kind of oozes out of the skull, that warm feeling. But how did I get the skull? Well, the skull came in out into the earth by it was brought here. I worked with Mayans from the place where the skull was found in Lubantun, Belize, which was British Honduras, by British explorer F.A. Mitchell Hedges, that was looking for a connection between Atlantis and the Maya. And he found this city, and he was able to, over 4 years with chopping and burning, open up 7 pyramids, a ball court, spiritual center, and a bunch of different other important buildings on the site. And the tallest of the buildings, the pyramids, there's one, and the kids were told to stay off of it. His adopted daughter, Anna, was there with him on the site. And she knew that if you went to the top, you could see all the way to the ocean. And she was, a real adventurous. As a matter of fact, when I follow her life, I think that she's like the real Indiana Jones as a woman, because because of her life, how she lived it. But she
That's
snuck
cool.
up there with some of the Mayan boys and girls. They went up there to the top to see the ocean when everybody was taking a siesta in the middle of the day. And why they looked around, it was all cloudy, but the sun moved and a beam of light came down, and the rocks had moved on the top of the pyramid because of earthquake and trees and stuff growing in it. And there was a path where the light went in and hit something deep inside of it, like a light hit. There was a big light, and she ran down and told her dad, and he said she was in big trouble for doing that, for being there. But the next day when she woke up, he had all the men out, and they were starting to open up the pyramid. And as they did it, it started to collapse on them. So they had to stop and just go one stone at a time till they were able to get a hole big enough for a small person. And so Anna was chosen, because at the time she was 16. And so they put the rope around her and lowered her into this pyramid. And she did that the next day. And she went down and she felt around and she found something, and she put it in her shirt and pulled on the rope. And when they brought her up and opened it, all the Mayans started kissing the ground and crying. It's like their God had returned. And so when that happened, it touched Mitchell Hedges so strongly that he presented it to the high priest, and the high priest took it and they put it in a altar, and they had lights burning 24 hours a day, and people would come out of the jungle just to see the skull. And it was there for till they closed off and had to leave, and that was in 27. And in that time, because Mitchell Hedges brought doctors down there, he brought food, medicine, he paid the people fairly for their work. They loved him, and they presented it back to him for safekeeping because they knew that he could take care of it. So that's how in 1927 he had the skull till he passed away in 1959. Uh, the the interesting, that is the story, the way it was told to me by Anna. And the reason Mitchell Hedges was down there that I've found, and I'll go into that in a little bit, that's quite interesting. But she found it on January 1st, 1924, and that happened to be her birthday. And then when she passed at 100 years old, she passed it to me, and that was on April 11th, 2007. That was my birthday. So she
Wow,
found it on hers and passed to me on
what a
mine.
gift.
So there's more to the skull. Has all these major things happening all the time, and when you see it, it's like, wow, how could that happen? But that's pretty amazing.
Mhm.
But that's where that where and when that I took over full control, because I worked with her for many years while she in the last part of her life, and she taught me and trained me, and because of that, that's why because you can't sell the skull, you can only gift it, and you gift it to the person that is, because through past life and stuff that I've discovered, I can see why it was important for me to have it right now. And it's not like, oh, just give it to this person. No, it pretty much finds where it wants to go. So
Yeah.
very interesting how that works.
Yeah, thank you for, well, that was what a gift, what a birthday gift.
Yeah.
Yet again, it was already being orchestrated before, before even you arriving here to this planet. And you said something about why a skull, and I get it because there is people that when they see a skull, it's like, as you said, like if it's something, that they should fear of, or, and the thing is, then you mentioned, like you have two sides. And for me, that is the first test that you need to go through, which is finding the love and seeing the beauty and the brightness in everything, because ultimately it's a reflection of yourself. If you choose to, I feel that what shows to you is that mirror of who you are now. And the thing is that a lot of spiritual people, or even people that doesn't consider themselves spiritual, what they are mostly afraid of is embracing their humanity. So even if this magnificent crystal skull, as you said, having all these components of Earth, by this I mean that they don't come from Earth, and it's very galactic, very cosmic, it is showing it through a way that it's a human skull, you know? And that is what we are meant to be. This is why I believe now that you touch upon the Mayans, when we connect with the different prophecies that they have, including the 13 skulls prophecy, it is about embracing ourselves as a cosmic race, embracing that rainbow light, that rainbow body, that Christ consciousness, that we embody that crystalline lattice, that liquid crystalline lattice within, and we're capable to project that wholeness, that rainbow wholeness, as when the light touches the very same skull. So could you share with us, how was it for you embracing that mission? Because I know that a lot of the beautiful tribe that is joining us now and that will be watching this video later are in that point of their lives where surrendering to our divine power, which is our mission, can be kind of overwhelming. Now I can imagine, delivering to you this crystal skull and everything that it represents, that you could feel it deep within. How did you went through that process of committing to your mission?
Yeah, well, even when I first received the skull and was the caretaker fully of the skull after Anna passed, it's like, why me? But since then, I've gone into a lot of past lives and stuff. I've worked with it and understand, its purpose and where it came from. And through that, I understand that, I'm not just doing this because it's a fun thing. No, I'm doing it because this was predestined and I was born at this time to do this work. And I do it with joy and love. And I find so much joy in being able to help people and change lives, because it does change lives. Because the 13 skulls, each one have a lot of the same characteristics, but there's a few different ones for each one. This skull mirrors your inner self. So when you're sitting with it, it looks deep into you, and it finds your gifts and abilities, your sacred uh, promises, and all the things you are and have been and can be. And in bringing that out, it is helping you to find and be all that you can be. And there's nothing greater in life than to be able to help humanity with a project that you are doing it and it's in line with who and what you are. So that's what I find very interesting. I find too that, like, when I work with a Mayan shaman that was born right near where the skull was found. His grandfather worked with Mitchell Hedges when he was uh, working there. He was with them on the dig when they found the skull, and he is the one that taught his grandson the ways of the shaman. And uh, they say the skull is a communicator with the gods, and that's how, they got a skull that's buried over here. There's one buried in the sea, but they're multi-dimensional and like an entity that's not, it's in all dimensions. So they work and they communicate with each other. And a lot of times when we're working, we in in enhance and bring the skulls together to work to help humanity. So it when you ask about the skull, they say it came from the star people.
Hmm.
And so that pretty much says a lot. And that's what my connection strongly is right now. A lot of people, oh, there's a real, there's a lot of people still don't believe that. They believe that we're the only race as the human race, but there's so many other different life forms of all different types, and there's a lot of spiritual advanced beings that are way far ahead of us. And in working and being open and working on our highest level ourself, we are able to be equal communicators with them and bring through and help open up that knowledge to bring it here on Earth to help the planet bring us through a time of negativity, and separate the people that want to stay in fear from the people that want to stay in love. And there's like going to be a big separation there. They talk about the splitting of the world. The splitting is really of consciousness, of the ones that want to stay in the same consciousness, and the ones that are ready to move into an ascension of consciousness to be able to bring in and use our full capacity as who and what we are, and remembering that. So it's a very interesting, exciting time. And the whole world, or the whole main word of this whole thing, is love, universal love, which is so powerful. That's one thing this skull has. And if you're sitting, even watching it, you should feel a pressure in most cases. A lot of people are feeling it in their heart and third eye. So it's very neat how that works.
Yes.
Oh, he's
Uh,
sending everyone a smile right now. If you don't know if you wonder if you feel it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, actually, I was going to tell the community if you want to already start connecting to see with the crystal skull to see how your field is being influenced by it, how if you're receiving any messages, sensations in your body, thoughts, visions, whatever. And I wanted to say because, well, again, like many topics to deepen within. um, when you were talking that, as the crystal skull chooses you, I do believe that every artifact, ancient artifact, works through resonance, so that who we are is actually, like already waiting for us. So we just need to be present and occupy our place in this construction. And when we know how they would deliver with the wisdom in those ancient times, they go beyond, okay, this is from here or this is from there, because everything is obey, like more than obeying, is following a higher mission, like your connection with the skull, like it had to go with you so that you could actually give and enable that space. This is why the elders were so happy for that, because they know that wisdom goes beyond it. It's pure love. And this is something that I believe that it's critical for us now to remember, that love cannot be measured or delimited into one form or space. It's infinite. And so the ways that we are being required to deliver, when you give with so much love and space, offer the space so that people can connect with the skull, because these consciousnesses are not meant to be uh, you know, just guarded in one space for a collection where just one person is connecting with it. These are meant to create and expand their message, to restore the grid the network that they belong to, that nexus, that multidimensional nexus. Because even if we're talking about 13 skulls here, those 13 skulls are connected with many, with the whole universe, and are bringing codes from there, not only from the beings that actually planted them here or put them here as a gift for us to remember and to upgrade our body to who we truly are. They're also connecting to the whole universe, because this level of technology brings unity consciousness, a unified consciousness through every code that it is permeating in everyone that is witnessing, connecting with it, communicating with it. And you also mentioned about love, um, and in a way that how it will split. And it's very interesting because, as you know, I'm very much into science as well, and quantum physics and the holographic universe. And the more that they are tuning into how the universe behaves in order for us to create consciousness, it is through a dipole, like energies polarizing onto an extent that they end up merging to one another. And I do believe so. We are facing that point, that we're being asked, how do you want to render your life? How do you want to exist and co-create from a state of awareness? And then ultimately we all come to the same source that from which we came from. We just we just return. So it's that point where that love, I want to transmit it in the appropriate words. When we come from a linear thinking, that division happens, and we say good guys and bad guys. Yet what is ultimately and originally happening is that source is just enabling the space for us to create and co-create in this way, to create coherence, and ultimately merging again into a space of love, because we both are delivering the mission that comes from source in order to create that consciousness and go into the next level. So I think that is one of the major uh, points, keynotes for us to comprehend. It's difficult to understand because for us we're just playing raw bands, like you're in this band, I'm in this band. But actually, as we are moving into these dipoles, we are more connected than ever in order to create that consciousness that will take us to the next level and closer to source. This is how I see it, and I just wanted to share it. So speaking about those 12, because I was watching, I mentioned this to you before going live. I loved your talk with Vivienne Chauvet. I had also the pleasure to know her at the Rise of the Guardians last year. No, actually this year. Time. But anyway, so, and when you were talking about the Christ consciousness and the 13 decibels, I loved it, because when people like you say 13 skulls, they ask, but why 13? Why not 11, 6, 7? I like 7. Why not 7? So I would love for you to extend on that.
Okay, well, basically, everything has a meaning, and especially in this world that we live, and just like Tesla with his 369, understand the universe. There the grouping of 13, goes through not just it goes through all the uh, different levels of all the different past life, going back to Egypt, to Tibet, to all the different groups throughout time. And the number 13 pops up all the time. And it's a power number of the 12 with the one in the middle. And that's how that's the way it's directed with the skulls, because they're on the same type of level as the disciples are 13 with Christ in the middle. But the skull, they say this one is supposedly the center skull, the master skull, just because the way it was made and when it was made in the level of all the other ones. But it's just that it's their tools that are made to help humanity. And if they were through like the Atlanteans were very much into crystal. They powered everything in their society with crystals, from flying ships to going under the sea. Under everything was with crystal. And so the power crystals of Atlantis. And so the crystal here, we're just starting to understand that it vibrates at a speed faster than light. It does this, it does that. They're just starting to understand the properties of what crystal is all about and what it does and how it stores. They say that with light, you're able to store information on a pure crystal, that you can leave it there for eternity and be able to bring it out at the end of the cycle if you choose. It's always there, it never leaves. And that's why I feel that much of the knowledge, because this is a storage device of knowledge, according to what the legends say, it has the knowledge of the universe stored inside of it.
Yes.
And I feel that with when we work with the skull, and people that are sensitive to the energy are able to bring that knowledge out. But it's even more that with technology, and I think it was made in a way that when we are ready, the master appears, so to speak. So when we're ready, they're going to have the technology is already here to store light on crystal and also retrieve it. So this
Yeah.
crystal is always recording. It records everything since it was made. There's a technology that records everything. So being able to come in and understand that. That's why the chaosic records are the records of this world, but even the records of, let's say, Venus and all the other places that has been or will be or whatever are all stored on here also. So it's very interesting, and it follows a lot of the legend of the 13 skulls. So it's
Yes.
makes life it's interesting and it's not boring, is it?
Uh,
Anything we do.
yeah, it's not boring at all. I bet that if each one of us write a book of our lives, we would be writing a bestseller. You know, yeah, I was actually talking to Rion about this earlier. You know, so um, I want to say, I have something to add about the 13, because when we're talking about the Christ consciousness, as we know, it goes beyond one being. It's, like a whole consciousness that is showing to us what degree, what level of evolution we can reach at a conscious level, at an awareness level, and also at a biological level, at a multidimensional level, just to create coherence with all those versions of ourselves. Because then we are being superconductors, as the very same crystals called, because we also have piezoelectric properties within our own biology. So I do believe that the more that we mirror into those magnificent technologies, we can upgrade our body. Why? Because we have mirror neurons here, and in the gut brain. So the more that we believe this, the more that we embody this, that we command this, then we are actually being those crystal beings mirroring into the crystal skull. And not only by belief, again, yet by embodiment, because that requires also uh, loving, because that creates the highest coherence, that enables our sustainable evolution to be not only as an individual yet as a race. So uh so then the 13, when you get a cross, like the cross of Christ,
Mhm.
if you number the edges of the cross, you will get 12. It's like here, you get here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus the center, 13. And
13.
this is the beauty about this code, because, well, for me, it shows to us, one of the things that it shows is that without the center, we are expanded, yet we don't come back to our center, to ourselves. So the 13 is that point that brings us together. So I feel that even the 13th skull is actually the communion. Even each one of them is, connected and has the information of the other one. The 13 is that manifestation of the other 12 as one. Do you happen to know, or because you mentioned that you have seen other of the 12 of the 13 crystal skulls, how many of them have you seen so far?
I'd say 4.
Wow. And what color are they?
But you know what? The colors of the different ones, like the one that I haven't seen and would want to is in Hawaii. And I say that because I'll show you how everyone thinks, oh, they're pure see-through crystal, but no, the one in Hawaii is buried in one of the chambers on one of the islands that are only for the Hawaiian people. And you know what color that one is? Or have you heard? Did me
I
stop?
would love to know.
It is red.
Ah, oh, come on, Bill.
And you
Come
know what the
on.
name of it is?
It
You want
was showing. It was before going live after seeing you, watching you with Vivian. It
yeah.
was telling me, it was showing to me the red
Well,
crystal.
that, yeah. It's
Okay.
isn't that beautiful? Yeah. But the name of it is Pele.
Okay.
And
Okay. Okay.
Pele, the god of the Hawaiians, and what it is you know history. They do word of mouth legends. They're passed on throughout history, but they don't have all. It loses a lot. But the thing is, there's always a tie. So to them, the red crystal skull was like their their God was there with them. So they have the name for it, and they use their most precious name for the crystal skull. There's one in Ireland, it's just to show you that, and it's buried. That's came to the island when fire was first brought to the island many years ago, and it's what color is that one? Is that red too, or what do you think that one is?
Green.
You got it. Irish green, yeah. So there's a reason for things,
Yes.
and that's when you see that and you go back in history, there's a lot of truth into what the ancients have said. You just have to be able to read between the lines, So it's pretty neat to see how that all works.
Yes, yes, it is. And you mentioned a fourth one. Is that so? Because it's yours, the one in Hawaii, the one in Ireland. There would be a fourth one,
Fourth
or
one. Well, there's one down in South America that's been with the family for 200 years. And it's in the family home. They have it down there and they don't display it or anything, but it's been there for, like I say, a long time. But it's crystal in color. Light in color, like see-through. Yeah.
I had the opportunity here in Mexico to be with two other crystal skulls, one green obsidian and the other one blue. When I connected with both of them, very much powerful, and with their
Yeah,
own mission, as
oh,
we know.
there's, what the crystal skulls that people don't know, they really like each other. And because they're all, not all, but many of them are working for the good of the planet. And so when you work with some of these ancient skulls that have a lot of energy in them, the energy it's a beautiful thing. And
It is.
it is. And it helps, but it's working to raise consciousness. So that's
I,
what they're very special for that reason.
I agree. And I would love to reconnect with the man that showed to me mainly the blue one, because with the blue one, it took me inside of it and showed to me the whole universe, the cosmos, so
Right.
it perhaps we could be talking about another one of the 13. This is
That's
why
true. Yeah. Well, people, it's like this with the crystal skulls. You could have a rock that's right next to your front door, and you see it as a rock, and it's been there all your life, and everybody walks past it, but it wouldn't be found until the person with the right frequency connects with it, and then it'd be right there, and everybody'd see it. But so we have a lot of that, but the ones that are coming out now, people are searching for them, and they are being have that frequency of being caretakers that are necessary for helping the skulls to fulfill their appointed duties on the earth. And so they're coming out. So they're to say that there's a lot of very special skulls coming out right now, and there are a number of really good ones out too that I work
Yes.
with, and I have respect for the owners and what they do. So yes.
What do you think that besides, of course, the communication? Because I was also asking you before going live, and Catherine, about the name, and every time that, because we also have crystal skulls like the ones that have been recently excavated, you know, they choose you indeed. And when people ask me, what's its name, I always say it will give to you a unique name because it's your own connection with the
Right.
consciousness. So it's
And
about
it's
frequency.
right. It'll be between the person and the caretaker, right?
Yes, yes, I agree. And one of the information that I was receiving is about the importance for the 13th now to be seen. I think that everything that is happening now on Earth, all these ancient technologies rising, emerging from the ground, it's enabling the frequency here on Earth to rise, and therefore for the other skulls to emerge as well, because then the level of consciousness in human will be ready, at least by some of humanity, to sustain those codes. Because also when we're talking about this amount of light, I want to clarify this to you all tribe. In order to sustain such a huge amount of light, it's very important for you to be heart centered. So by this I mean you can already tell that Bill and Catherine have that, embody that. Otherwise, I've seen also other cases when um, they are not able to hold that frequency, and then they start to be portals, for other things, for distortion, let's say. Yet when you are anchoring, when you're anchored in your heart center, then you are bringing that space, that safe space for the skull to deliver its mission. So again, thank you for doing that, Bill, because I truly honor and recognize that from you both. That's a huge amount
Well,
of light.
yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's wonderful to find something that you can do that helps humanity and then follow it. And I find, like you were saying, how to get to these points of higher consciousness is really only like one step at a time. In other words, there's many different things you have to pass to get to the end goal. But if you don't pass them and get past them, then you're stuck. So what I work and believe is, using the energy of the earth. And I like, there's a lot of special astrological things that have been happening in the last few years that help speed up the energy to make doors open, uh, spiritual doors open to make good things happen for humanity. And so you have to follow that energy, and the more you just let go and follow it, it takes you to the proper place at the proper time, and you get through it and you say, wow, how'd that happen? And then, oh, there's another one, here you go. And it's just a beautiful path. It's like you can see with it like footprints in the sand of the different places you've been. But if you don't keep walking, then that's the only way that it'll take you to really where you need to go and where you want to go to be fully uh, enlightened beings to your fullest ability as the soul that you are. So it's a really, uh, I like to say always, if you have a chance in life, take a chance, and it'll take you on a very exciting trip.
Yes, exactly. Like for instance, if Anna hadn't gone deep within that tunnel, you know, we would be
Right,
experiencing another timeline. Yet, of course, that was off the table because there are things that are already being given. We are walking the path, and our part as human beings, acknowledging our cosmic nature, is just playing surprised, feeling fear, feeling all type of emotions to remember that if we came here to being enlightened, to enlighten ourselves, it's important to let go of those aspects that are blocking the transmission of that light to be. And I do believe this is the huge preparation, before the forces, like it's like acknowledging who we are. Okay, so this is me, and this is the idea of myself. Like now going inwards. We went into the collective, now going inwards. Okay, this is me, the true version of myself, and this is who I thought I was. So now that I have ordered, which is and which is not, now I'm capable to merge into the highest co creation, which is all that information. I'm transforming it into coherence and becoming that rainbow. You mentioned the Hopi prophecy. We have the rainbow warriors. There is also the Mayan and the Aztec prophecy regarding to Kukulkan and Quetzalcoatl, the return, which is very
mhm,
much connected to Venus because they say that he came from Venus. And it's also bringing the rainbow codes, the Christ consciousness. We have it in South America, we have it in Australia, with the Aborigines. We have it everywhere, like these rainbow
right,
codes that
yeah,
it's telling us, hey, you are Christ consciousness. Be that crystal lattice, that liquid crystalline lattice. And every time that I'm saying this, Bill,
mhm,
I'm feeling like this huge smile from the crystal skull. Like,
right. I am too. Yeah, that is really the key to realize that as as human beings in our spiritual self, we are connected to the highest level of Christ consciousness, and that by not forcing it but being it, it is it's opening up all of us to the possibility to be all we could be and remember who and what we are. It's a remembering time, and with the remembering, we have all knowledge and all power inside of our spiritual self. So that is a beautiful thing and a beautiful connection, and you hit it right on. And that's the key right there, is becoming the Christ within.
yes, yes, and about another thing, because the again the crystal skull is asking me to mention something to you, but yet before going there, the 13 also, how the Mayans see it
Mhm.
is every joint that we have, which is the connection, the bridge, as the very same rainbow, which is a bridge that is connecting, our hands to our forearm and so forth. We have 13 joints, which is representing the 13 bridges that we have to ignite into this rainbow luminescence to activate our rainbow body and integrate the 13 representations of the skulls within, because each one of them was encrypted with those codes. So, have you ever felt on on that mission to find the other, would be, you said that for so far, right? That for so far
Well,
have.
you asked me how many that I was aware of, and and that's the ones that. But as far as that goes, I connect with the other 12 skulls, and I can even the ones that are not even on this planet right now, and the ones that are buried under the sea. So it's not, because they are communicative devices, and that's how they were made. And they were taken in different parts of the world when they were made, and they were used in ceremony to connect with each one. So they, it's like a communication device for the masters to work together. But and it's still, it's not like it's changed. So being able to connect with the other skulls is a very real possibility, because that's how they were made. So it's really interesting. That's what, since I've been working with that, I've not been as drawn to go look for the skulls, but just to communicate with the skulls. And that, I know that's just me and how I'm doing it right now. But that's kind of where, back a number of years ago, I was ready to take off anywhere in the world and go. And now I'm not quite as pushed that way. I always like an adventure. So if
Mhm.
anybody wants to go and has a good idea, I'll give you my information. We'll see what we can find. But basically, the communication, and they're real, and they come to you, and you feel the connection, the love, and they're different personalities. Each one's a little different, but their love is so strong. So yeah.
It is. It is. It's like I see the 13 and these wormholes
Mhm.
interconnecting one another, and then like the 12, and then connecting with that third one at the center, and that projecting holographically into the earth, because as we know there are also 12 main wormholes in the earth, some of that were distorted and that are meant to be restored, like from Atlantean times, to be restored into high consciousness, so that the transmission of all these high beings, these advanced beings, come through come throughly in coherence into this field. We can call them angelics, we can call them plasma beings. Some of them are already here in Earth. And do you think that at some point the crystal skulls that you have connected with that are of Earth will be coming here again, just for that point of huge, massive configuration of
Yeah,
torsion?
I do. I think it's, that's why there's so many people searching right now. They're looking all over, and they're following their intuitions and being told, try this and that, because it's time for the skulls to come out at this time. So that's a real possibility. Yes.
I agree. And even I feel that the ones that could possibly not be on Earth right now will manifest, will project, as
Yeah, they
plasma.
do that. Yeah, they definitely
Yeah.
do that.
When
So
the
yeah.
right person comes. Yes. Yes. Amazing. Amazing. Someone asked in the chat um, if you have taken the skull to any pyramid.
Okay, let's pyramid. Okay. Well, I've taken it in country to a lot of sacred sites. I've taken it out of country before different rules had changed in the way you can travel. But let's see, pyramids. Uh, let's see, I haven't, as I remember, not. I can't remember doing that. No. Yeah, the way I find out where I've been is I look at my pictures on my phone, and I go back and say, because in a year's time they got me going so many different places that I look back and I say, wow, I went there. And then but sacred sites and working with pyramids of different sizes, I probably have done that. I've been at from everything from a lot of stuff in Sedona, because I lived there for a while, a lot of stuff in Mount Shasta, because that's a
Mhm.
very uh, and there is different special places that the skull calls me to go. So yeah.
Yeah, well, but perhaps, and thank you for doing that, because it's a heavy skull. For the ones that haven't been physically in front of the crystal skull, it's a big skull and it's a heavy one. So Yet, I think that perhaps where they were coming from, or some fire goddess with her question, is because, as we know, the prophecy says that they belong to a very specific pyramid. What I have received is that this pyramid is currently underwater, and it's in between the peninsula, the Yucatan, and Cuba. This is why Cuba has also been like a very guarded island, because there
Yeah,
is a lot there to be
yeah.
on.
Bimini is important in this key. That's like there's pyramids there that will surface when there's a big hurricane. And that's happened a number of times. And that's where that Roy Brown was down there scuba diving, and he, after a hurricane, and he saw the pyramids. I talked to a diver that had a diver company, and he lived on the island, and he said that they were flying back after the hurricane, and they saw several pyramids off the one coast. And then he forgot about it for a few days, and then he went back and it was all covered over. So they don't stay out that long, but they are there.
Yes, yes, I have heard something about that as well. And I do believe that as multidimensional beings, one of the things that we are capable of is not bring everything to matter. Like, as you said, you can
Right.
connect, because the information is already within you. Perhaps it would be too complex to bring the complicated to bring the crystal skull to the pyramid of Giza. You know how they are, even if you rent it for private. But sometimes it's not needed, because the frequency of the crystal skull is already within you. You know, that how many years have you been with the crystal skull? 15, you said?
It's,
20?
it's, it's about 20, but that's how I've been the caretaker. But I was with Anna many years before that too. So it's been a lot of years. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like when I was at I told about when I was in May of last year. I was in Egypt, and we went to all the pyramids and all the temples along the Nile. And the last day was at the Giza, at the big pyramid there. And in the top chamber, I had a dream, and the dream was that on the one side there was a key that could be opened. And
Mhm.
so I had tuning forks. I had a 432 and a 963, and we were working with those on the side of the pyramid, and with doing some ohms. And what happened is the lady that was the Egyptologist was at the door, and she said she could see the walls of the pyramid were undulating, so they were moving, and while
Yes.
we were doing this. So very uh, powerful thing. But what the key was, when it opened up a chamber that went from the pyramid to the queen's chamber, to the king's to the queen, and connected the energy from Atlantis and the energy from Lemuria. So the male female energy was reconnected in balance. So it's so important now that we balance out and bring back the priest and the priestess as equals, and that they are working to uh, bring their gifts through to help the world together. Because if you're just one sided, it'll never work. It has to have that balance.
Yes. I
That's that was the reason that I went to work with the Shumash in Santa Barbara up in the mountains at the equinox, the fall equinox, and I was there because they have strong connections to Lemuria, and the Lemuria goes from there to Mount Fuji. It goes to the Hawaiian Islands and back, that pyramid. And so, in working with the energy at that time, it helped to bring that raise that energy up, because the female energy was so strong there, as with the strong energy of Atlantis, but bringing them both up to their full power is what the world needs, in my opinion, to help balance out what is happening in the world right now.
I couldn't agree more. And one of the major things why I say that is because, like, the ancient cultures always show like a quaternary map, right? The four worlds, the four directions, and so forth. So if we say that our feminine and our masculine, that would be one aspect of it, let's say 180 degrees. What creates the full circle to 360? It would be that the feminine is as the black hole deep within, and the masculine is as the kinetic, the potential energy and the kinetic energy, and then the other way around, so that we know that is we're not divided, we are merged with one another continuously as a torus flowing our feminine and our masculine from deep within. So I mean, I could stay for hours talking to you.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
it's perfect what you're saying. It's the perfect balance, and you're right on. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for everything that you're sharing, that we are sharing. And as I was saying, I could talk to you forever. However, I don't want to keep you long. And we talk about a probable meditation. So if you feel like, if you're okay with it,
Sure.
just a short one,
Mhm.
it would be lovely, to I mean, it's going to come to you as always. Yet we have touched upon the feminine and the masculine, and also, the power of the heart. I have been sharing that it's very important for us to realign our heart to our true north. So, having said this, if if you feel comfortable, we can begin, and everyone, all the family, the tribe that is joining us and that will be joining us later, if you can just.
I'd love to. Oh, can I say there's two little stories that are quite interesting.
Yes,
Uh,
of course.
yeah, the Mitchell Hedges was down in Central America at the same time the Nazis were down there looking for power artifacts, and
Wow.
that was right before the war. And not many, well, it was about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I found this piece of paper in his some of his old papers, and it was written to him by from the admiral, the head of naval intelligence, to Mitchell Hedges, and it was kind of a coded letter, didn't make much sense. But when on the bottom of it, when they do those letters, they always have to put the person that typed it, they have to put their initials and stuff at the bottom. So I sent it to a friend of mine up in Canada because he had a knowledge of that, and he told me who was the one that typed it, and the person that typed it was Ian Fleming, and this is right before, right around the beginning before the war, but it was. He was working with the different agents in the field, and that's how he got the knowledge of being, to write the book James Bond. And so,
Oh,
I know,
wow.
yeah. So the thing is, now that I do my lectures, I say Mitchell Hedges is uh, James Bond. Yeah, he's got the connection with James Bond. So I think it's kind of funny because, well, James Bond's one of my favorite. But the thing is, they he was working with the British Secret Service down there, and he was working with them during the war and after the war. But the thing, it is quite interesting to be able to say it. But then back in 1979, Anna was up in Canada at the time, and so was Carol Davis Wilson, who was the one that did The Skull Speaks, which is a very, very powerful book that there's so much knowledge in it that you'd learn so much just by reading that about the crystal skull. But she was up there. She is one of the top psychics in Canada, and she got a call from this guy that was working up there and wanted to know about Mitchell Hedges and Anna and the skull. So she told him the whole story. Then he wanted to talk to Anna, so they called over to her, and she was leaving for England the next day, so she couldn't talk. But he got all that information, and then several years later, I think it was like 1984, he came out with a movie, and it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was Steven Spielberg. So, and that's why in the last movie about the crystal skull, he speaks about Mitchell Hedges' skull in it at least 4 or 5 times, giving it back a respect for what it for the knowledge that he got. But the thing is, now I say uh, Mitchell Hedges is Indiana Jones and James Bond. So I'm happy with that because I like adventure, so I like both of them a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I
Isn't
can
that
see
funny? Yeah, how that is, but that's pretty wild. So yeah.
that. Perhaps next time that we meet, I will get you an Indiana Jones hat from Mexico.
Oh, I'll be ready. I got my whip, so we're good on that. So I gotta keep Kath in line, you know. I think she'd use it on me, so I better be careful, huh?
Yeah. I think that after we finish the show, yeah, there could we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Yeah. Hey, that sounds like an adventure. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, another type of adventure, right?
Right. So would you like me to take us through a small or short meditation?
Please,
Okay.
I will love that. I'm honored.
Oh,
So if everyone can
I'm
prepare.
honored to share. So what you want to do is just kind of get yourself in a comfortable position, and I'm waking the skulls up to go and just opening up that it's sending you that pure light and love. And just put your mind on your third eye and just start some slow, deep breathing. And just let yourself relax. It just feels so good. And now put your mind right in your third eye and looking up into the heavens. Look high in the heavens. And as you look way to the heavens, you'll see this beautiful diamond and gold light. And you see it coming down, getting bigger and bigger, following it with your mind, seeing it coming down. And you'll feel it. It'll go right through your crown, right through your body, right out through your feet into the earth, right through the top of the skull, through the skull into the earth. And just follow that beautiful energy down, deeper and deeper in the earth, right down to the heart of the mother. And the mother has so much love. And as soon as it touches that love, you'll just feel a wave of love coming back up, coming up, up, up. And you'll just feel it go right through your feet and right into your heart and right into your third eye, right into the skull. And the energy of the father and the mother and the skull is coming together and building stronger and stronger. And you'll just feel as the energy builds so strong in the skull that there's a beam of light and it goes right from the skull right into your heart. And you feel the love. It's all about the love. And now all of us, wherever we're at, we're connecting now with the beam of light between us and making a circle of light, a circle of love. And just let the love expand out, and you can just feel yourself lifting higher and higher, and just opening your heart. And you're going right high in the sky, high in the heavens. And from there, you can look down on the earth and you'll see the mountains and the oceans and the sea and the woods and the towns and all the different cities all through the world as you're looking down. And you are a channel for this beautiful light, the light from the Creator coming through you now as a channel. And you're able to take that light and share it wherever you feel you see sadness, disease, war. And you can share that light and you'll see the darkness change to light. And you have that power. So now using that power, take it wherever you feel drawn to that needs the help, and send your love, send your light into the world. Do it now. Just feel the Creator's love. He loves you so much. Share the love. You can see that golden light around the whole of the earth now. Just create that love, create that light. That okay, let's bring us back now, bring us back into our circle of light, coming back. And now I'll bring us all back on the count of 5. 1, just let the energy flow back into your body gently and easily. 2, just let it flow out your fingertips and toes as you're coming back, coming back. 3, this is where you hold all the love, and it's yours to take, to share, to give to your family, your friends, or whoever needs it. Share the love, share the light. 4, this is where you start every day with joy and hope and excitement for a new day and a new chance. 5 has been counted, so come back now whenever you're ready. God's love to all of you. God's love to all those that have helped us, all those great beings. The connection with the other skulls is open now, and come back now whenever you're ready. God's love.
Hmm. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful.
Oh, you know what? We have some really powerful meditators in the group because I can feel them. They're really we did some really good work today and sharing a lot of love. So all of you, I thank you and I bless you for what you're doing. Yep.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And, I would love to emanate a bit of frequencies in gratitude to you, to the Crystal Skull, to Catherine, because you give so much that I would love to give it this as a flow.
Thank you. Whatever. Yeah, we appreciate you. Yes.
Oh, and I appreciate you very much. So, Himariak nairi umaiki Alaria mai naruma Umayak nuki Himaraya umainu Himarinu Hiyekari anayukum ai hala iri kursi ekayashniya kamaitu. Re eriahni aru val iri ikinu urui hit ekaitik. Bari aku hurini niminaya bari ul ariahal arikat arikatik. ay an ari ut hul uri ay liru an aktuk hunuch hek uni ayekti akna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We send you much love. The skull loves their singing. It does, and it loves the bowls. It loves flutes, and there's just it just comes alive when for the music. So your voice touched it very much. I could really feel it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I mean, again, you three, that beautiful trinity, you always give so much that for me is the most coherent to give a bit, to emanate a bit in return. And for me is one of the highest pleasures that what I
Isn't
can experience. So thank you. Yeah.
isn't it really neat when you bring yourself through and you bring your gifts out and how you can help and see how it changes people and makes them better? It's what a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, thank you so much for everything. I know that we will be communicating more codes. I already feel a little bit buzzy in a good way. So yeah, there are some adventures, and I will be sharing them because I feel like honoring the connection. So I will be reaching out to you with some of the messages that I received. And is there anything else that you want to say for now? As I said, I could stay talking to you for hours, forever, yet I also want to let you go. I know that you have been all day.
So yeah, the same here. I'm sure that this is just one of the many. So we'll be working together because what we're doing is so important. And I'm glad that we made the contact and we're gonna see some new adventures. How's that?
I love that. I love that. Count me in for sure.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, this is so meant to be. So, thank you. I just want to thank everyone. Everyone is giving such a beautiful feedback.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll tell you who is some of the ones in the group were so powerful in their meditation tonight. It was like, yeah, I could really feel them strong. And I send love to all of them and thank them for their gifts for humanity. So it's really, really neat. Yep.
yes, yes, I agree. Time for action.
Time
Uh,
for action. All right. Yep.
yeah. Okay, so well, everyone, as you know, Um, I hope to see you in Sedona for Rise of the Guardians. It will be a beautiful, magnificent conference. So see you there.
Well, I have one thing to say. I forgot.
Yes.
If I could, yeah, I work with Divine Ray, and that's the new app that's come out. It's for the spiritual community, and it's a way that people can put their stuff on it, but they're with people of like minds, and so it's really necessary right now to be able to share, and you're not getting all some of the Facebook and all the stuff you get on your phone, the negative stuff. Uh, and everything else and ads. This is one with no, it works for the good of the community, the spiritual community. So Divine Ray, if you get a chance, just look at it. It's really it's something that's coming, and it's very important for the future, I feel.
Do you have like a website or somewhere that people can actually access to?
Oh, you go to the App Store, even for if Apple has the one and the other
Okay, I'm
ones,
writing it.
it's at the App Store, and it's Divine Ray, two words, Devine, and then the second one is Ray, Divine Ray. But
Okay, in App
yeah,
Store.
so and it also has, it's the only one, it's the first one that came out with a cryptocurrency that's connected to it. Everyone gets a wallet. If you like something, or somebody likes something you're doing, or if you share something, then you get money or you get tokens in your wallet, and it builds up, and then you can buy courses for other people. You can even buy Bitcoin when it's the point Bitcoin on the once it gets fully done, where you're getting connected to all the different what do they call exchanges. So it's a new concept, but it's for us as the spiritual community. So
Well, I love it.
yeah,
Yes.
the guy that did it, and this is somebody you should check into he's really one of the most amazing people I know, David Starr, and he got this in 4 dreams 4 years ago, and it gave him the name of it and everything. And so he's been working on it, and it was a big job because he had to work with the best place for doing the cryptocurrency is through Malta. And so he's working with Malta and working with lawyers there and everything to get this going. But it's right now it's on the line. It's going. So yeah, check it out and hope you like it, because it'll help us in our community for sure. Getting that down.
Yes. Well, thank you. I really need to dive in more into all of that because there are so many new things coming up regarding to the new
Right.
economic system. So, an economic system. Yeah, thank you. I already put it in the chat, David Starr, and I also will take a look myself. And yes, yeah, I'm very new, I must say, regarding to that. I'm very new, so that's like an unknown universe to me. So I will check it out and then also ask
Yeah,
you.
I really like it, and I feel it's really important, and it will be important. So, but yeah, go with what your gut feeling says. So for sure, and have fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about buying gold, because gold is always, going up in price, and also it's super powerful. So
and also silver now, even because its
yes,
prices, be good too. So yeah.
and perhaps we can do some devices. We could co-create some devices there, like the skull is already, the crystal skull is already showing to me. So who
Yeah.
knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I really enjoyed tonight, and it's always nice meeting you, and love working with you. So have
Yeah.
a super night.
Me too. You too. Have a super night. And well, guys, thank you, everyone. Thank
Don't
you.
forget,
Thank-
adventure. Adventure.
Yes, adventure and lots of fun. That's
There you go.
the main ingredient that gives passion
Oh yeah.
to
Yeah.
it.
What's interesting when you see how the skull comes through the back, and you'll feel the light, how it goes through it is pretty
Yes,
intense. Yeah.
it is. It is. Well, guess who's going to have some interesting visions and dreams tonight? And
There
uh,
you go. Yeah. And
yeah,
that's the fun part, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
So,
it is. It
okay.
is. Okay. So, well, thank you again so much. And until next time, because I would love to have you again and Catherine as well. So, yeah.
Okay. We're just let us know. Okay. Have a good
Yes.
night. Bye-bye.
Yes. See you soon. Bye. Thank you all. Until
Thank
next
you,
time.
everyone. Thank you.